G'day, Heath here from pickinglessons.com. The blues on the banjo is so much fun. In this arrangement we've got two variations over the 12 bar, so we're twice through rhythm and lead. A whole bunch of licks in here and some rhythm to support it as well, some different rhythm ideas. In a moment we're going to start out with the first 8 measures, looking at the G changes and the C changes. But if you head to pickinglessons.com, you'll grab yourself a copy of the complete tablature. In the member section there we'll break down the remainder of all the variations, so the first and the second. You'll have some play along and backing tracks there as well, so pickinglessons.com. Okay, so starting out here, we're going to run through the first 8 measures of the first 12 bar, but that gives us the first G change. We're in the key of G, so 4 measures of G, 2 measures of C, so we've got this lick over the C as well, and then back to G variation from measures 7 and 8. So it really kicks us off. Now, we're in a shuffle feel and we're in the key of G. So the shuffle feel, rather than playing straight 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and our 8th notes will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we also have a lot of triplets in here as well. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So there's a lot of shuffle, a lot of triplets happening throughout. Key of G, so don't have to worry about changing your tuning at all. Now, we do have rhythm and we do have lead. We're going to start out with this little pickup lick, which is found on beat 3 and, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 and straight to a triplet. So second half of beat 3, then a triplet. So 3 and 4 and If you're not familiar with the shuffle feel, basically we have to lengthen the first part of the beat. So 1 and 2 and 3. And so the second 8th note is really late in the beat. So as we play this pickup, 3 and 4 and yeah? As we go through, you'll really get a feel for the feel of this shuffle. Okay, let's take a look at measure 1. This is our first rhythm variation. We have these little double stops. So we've got our G double stop there. Borrowing a double stop from the C, back to the G, to the C, to the G. So our 2 double stops here, fret 4, fret 3, and then a 3rd finger there on fret 5, string 2 and 3. And we're pretty much just running between those 2 double stops, yeah? You can use your thumb and index fingers, that works really well. You could use your thumb. I prefer the thumb finger combo though. Now, we can slide into this first double stop. So just a quick little grace note slide into that first double stop position. In between on that shuffle offbeat note, we're going to play the open G, so we'll get this. So that rhythmic repeat happens through this first variation. So we get that slide on the downbeat into our grace note double stop, open G, 3rd finger. We're going to punctuate that with staccato short sounds. That really punctuates that second beat. Will happen on the 4th beat as well. So 1 and 2, open G, and then repeat 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So just slowly the slide, thumb on the open G, double stop, C position, open G, another slide, open G, double stop but staccato, open G, and so on. So we repeat that up to the first beat of measure 2. 3, 4, 1. Yeah, now we're going to go into a lick. This lick in measure 2. All triplets. We have that little pickup note finishing our rhythm, but we'll just pick it from beat 2. So beat 2 is 2 and 3 and 4 and So triplets, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the feel that we're dealing with. Now the notes, we have this hammer on, open G, so hammer on 3rd to 5th, 2 and 3 notes, 1 beat, 2 and 3rd beat, so 3rd beat, 4th beat, another triplet, 4 and with the hammer on, 3rd to 4th, open, all thumb will do the job. So the 3 triplets in a row. Two and 3 and 4 and yeah. It's great, isn't it? Let's go from the first measure, our rhythm, just through that second measure. 3 and 4 and triple it. Yeah, get to know that. Slow it down, get to know those elements in there, and then bring it together. We'll go back in a moment and include that pickup, but let's have a little look at this second rhythmic variation. Measure 3, we're moving on, starting out with this same position on G and C, but we're including a new one, which is part of the G7. So this G7's got the F note in there, and it's got the D as well, so it's our G7 double stop, or part of. So we go first position, and then third. Now, fingering wise, we could use first and second, or third and fourth. Your choice, won't matter. But the rhythmic variation is basically the same. Once we kick it off, we do start on the offbeat on this double stop, but then we get the open strings in the same as before. That open string's on the offbeat. The only one that's not the same as that is in the first beat. We are coming from the previous note, which is tied over to measure 3. We'll worry about that in a moment. But if we just started on measure 3 and picked that open G, you'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Same little slide, grace note slide into that double stop for G. Try it again with me. So measure 3, from beat 1, we'll play that open string. Ready, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. A little bit quicker. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. If we picked from the beginning and included the transition from measure 2 into 3, that open G is actually picked early. We played at the end of measure 2 as part of that lick. We don't play it again in measure 3, so we've got a little bit of space there. Have a listen, I'll go from the beginning. Pickup notes included, 2, 3, and 4, 1. Notice that little pause at the end of measure 2 through beat 3, yeah? So we don't have to play that second G. It's tied on from the end of measure 2. We have this little transition lick in measure 4, 4 and getting us into the C change for measure 5. So measure 5 though, measure 5, we're going to place our first finger in this position. It's easier than holding 2 fingers on those notes. Use your first finger. And then we'll use our third and fourth to play the variations. So our rhythmic variation here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Staccato on the beat, so on 1, 2 and 3. Remember, staccato is that short sound. So basically bounce the first finger. So we release it just after we pick it. Same on the next position, little finger. So we're just holding the first finger there, third and fourth are playing the 7th and 8th. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah? If we didn't include the staccato, it would sound like this. Which is great, but with the staccato on the pulse, it just gives it a really nice sort of punctuation, yeah? The next lick is actually the same as what we've learned other than the open D. And this rhythmic variation for G, yeah, is the same as what we just learned in measures 3 and 4. The next 3 notes will lead us to the D change, so we'll check that out at pickinglessons.com. There we'll keep going, breaking down this arrangement and the second variation too. But shuffle feel, triplets, they're 2 things we really need to watch. Obviously that rhythm and the feel that we're playing is really important. Left hand choice of fingers should be pretty okay. In the tablature there are some suggestions too. Again, right hand is kind of obvious. There are some suggestions in the tablature as well. There's a couple of ways of going about all of this, yeah? But sometimes when we're playing 2 notes like this, it makes sense to use a certain combo of fingers. So just keep an eye on that, make sure you're comfortable. Play through and get to know what we've done so far. Pickandlessons.com. We will break down the remainder of this tune. You will be able to grab a copy of the tablature, complete arrangement. Also in the member section there, you got some play along tracks, so some backing track, play along tracks, and a slow playthrough of the whole tune just with the banjo as well. So pickandlessons.com. I'll see you there.